For reals. You good?
Yeah, I think something just flew into my nose.
Do you need a pinky?
I'm good.
The adults or elders from our generation are passing away and have been for some time now. John Ritter, Don Knotts, Andy Griffith, Mr. Rogers, Leonard Nimoy, David Bowie, Carrie Fisher, Bill Paxton, Alex Trebek, Richard Simmons. Shout out Richard Simmons. Pee Wee Herman, Dr. Ruth. The adults from our childhood have entered their 70s. The ones that are still alive are now in their 70s as we enter our 50s. At what age does our health and physical body make decisions for us in our life? Hi, I'm Jason.
And I'm Greg.
We are Gen X, and welcome to our podcast. Seriously, welcome to our podcast.
We're the last generation to grow up without internet.
We're here.
Computers.
We're the last
do it
generation
again.
that played outside all day.
We did play outside all day.
Lights came on.
We watched cartoons on Saturday mornings.
Every Saturday morning.
Cereal box drink.
Up early.
We didn't have cell phones in our pockets.
We shared one house phone.
Growing up over the last
One
30
phone.
plus years, we have
The
learned a
whole
few
house.
things about life.
Raising kids, losing family, managing money.
Having a professional career,
The money
self-care,
talk.
and much, much more. Each episode, we talk about our experiences as Gen Xers.
Growing up in the 70s and 80s.
That's what we're gonna talk
our
about
lives
tonight.
have been influenced and shaped today.
We are now hitting our 50s.
We're hitting
we are
our
still
50s.
wondering,
We're hitting
are we
them.
adults yet?
Greg wants us to be in our 50s. Slow down there.
We're all up in it.
Slow down there, bucko.
We're just hitting it.
The fact that Keith Richards has outlived Richard Simmons really makes me question eating healthy.
Jazzercise
And
did not work out. It's much better to play guitar and drink Jack Daniels.
I want to give a shout out to all of our listeners out there. Shout out to our Monday crew, everybody in every other country, everybody here in our home state of California, and all of our friends and all of our family. Thank you guys for tuning in each and every week and hanging out with us, spending your time with us, these two 80s kids who got their hands on a podcast and deliver the most inconsistent stuff weekly to you over the last 2 years.
We said we were going to do whatever the hell we want.
We have no rules. We are not experts.
Warn them that we weren't experts yet.
I should never take us serious.
Yeah.
And
We don't know what we're doing.
never take our advice.
We used to be over there. Now we're in here.
Now we're in here where it's, top of full court tower.
We used to sit at a table. Now we sit on a couch.
Now we're on a couch.
We do what we want.
So welcome to our podcast, everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in. Give a shout out to our co-host over here, Greg. What's up, Greg? How you doing, buddy?
Good. What's
Yeah.
happening, bro?
Whole lot of nada, man.
Good to see you again.
Tell us something bueno.
Oh, man. The pressure each time to come up with something like that. Something good, man. I don't know. Just been busy and it's summertime. You know what's good is summer nights.
Tell me.
10 o'clock at night, walking out of the back deck with no shirt on, 75 degrees.
So it wasn't last
10
week.
o'clock, midnight. I just love summer in the nighttime.
You're in the countryside of town.
Kind of.
You get some critters. You get some sounds. You have a river
we have.
behind you.
We don't get any frogs. That's kind of the sound that I picture having down there on the river. Because I'm basically just like up above on a deck below the rivers down here, and all the wildlife and stuff is down there at river level. But we have what seems like a lot more cricket noise this year. Like the crickets are putting on a concert.
Yeah.
Where it used to just be like,
Little something.
there wasn't that much noise really back there, like wildlife noise, like frogs or crickets or that consistent buzz that happens at night.
Right.
Yeah, we never really had that, but it's really loud this year.
Welcome to this week's episode, 50s, our last significant decade. Does that mean wean we're dead? No, that does not mean
what?
we're dead.
Wait,
Yeah.
you didn't warn me about that. This is
Question
my
mark.
last decade?
Question mark. Is this our last significant decade? If you're Gen X, do you know anyone 10 years older than you? How do they look? How does the next 5 years look for them? I'm not saying we're dead or useless. I'm just asking, is our 50s the last real decade we have? The last real decade where our bodies can keep up with our ideas? Yeah, my back hurts when I pull the coffee pot away from the counter, or a couple weeks ago, I was just stretched and I felt it, and by the end of the episode, I couldn't move.
I think you reached for one of the buttons over there. It's a dangerous move at this age.
I'm talking where our knees and our hips and our shoulders and our bones and our muscles start to become aged. I'm not saying fighting is a good measure for a healthy, able body, but could you in your 60s, 10 years from now? Are you on track for that?
I'm going to bring my neighbor in here, dude. He's like 78. I'm going to have him come in here and take his shirt
Beat me
off.
up.
Bro, he looks like Popeye's dad. He's like just jacked. Looks like he still works out and stuff. Still does all the work around his yard.
Yeah.
A couple years ago, he was up in a tree with one of those little handheld chainsaws, just cutting the whole thing to bits.
Not sedentary. We're going to get into that.
He's up in a tree.
Yeah. 78.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he's jacked.
Believe it. So, again, I'm not saying being able to fight is a good measure.
Right.
However, could you? Could he? Could he still fight? Could he still, is his body, could he call upon his body to defend himself still?
Yeah, probably better than most guys his age.
Out of a pool of 10 78-year-olds.
78-year-olds. He does security at the church. He runs parking lot security at the church. So, yeah, man, I think people trust him.
Qualifies. Here's the good news. I think we all have good examples of those friends who are like 10 years older than us. The idea is, if you have a friend that's 10 years older than myself, I would be 62 years old, and I look at him physically, and I look at him mentally still sharp, good to go. And I'm not saying everybody's the same. I get that. But that could be a glimpse of what I could physically look like in 10 years. And this ain't just about, having muscles or still looking attractive or anything. I'm talking about genuine health. I'm talking about, when does our body make decisions for us? We're in our 50s. I still consider myself able-bodied. How long does that last? How long will that last, right? I think we all have good examples of those folks who are 10 years older than us, like your neighbor, 78 years old, still climbing trees. You know what I mean? I get that.
On concrete. He'll just do it himself.
Have you ever said, man, I hope I look like that when I'm their age?
Yeah.
Yeah?
For sure.
Here's the question. Are you on track? Right now at your age, are you on track to be like those people in your examples? If the idea is to live, and to live in a way that's not excruciating.
Right. I don't want to be bedridden.
With the stuff we have control over, and I get, I have a lot of friends that just age and time and ailments and health have just come out of nowhere, right? And it's not always about lifestyle, so I get that. You know what I mean? There's a lot of bigger ailments we get older in life that we don't get younger in life.
Yeah.
Right? So
yeah.
I get this isn't for everyone. I get every person is different. But for the things you do have control over, are you on track with your physical health for the next 10 years, 15 years? Are you like overweight now and think at some point it's just going to go away because age is just, or is that even a factor?
Yeah, it is.
Have conversations between you and your doctor, or you and anybody, have you talked about weight if that's a concern for you? And the health problems that come with it, the blood pressure, the heart stuff, the clogged arteries and all
the mobility.
The mobility.
I know someone else that's dealing with this that has his wife is not mobile anymore, but she had gained a lot of weight. Now he's in charge of moving her around and getting her dressed and doing all this stuff, and it's a lot harder on him at his age to deal with this heavyweight woman. And now he's just this old man, and he's like, I'm getting to the point where I got to bring in a professional. I can't do this anymore.
Costs money.
Yeah. I got to
bring in
someone else. Yeah. Have you been putting that away?
If you're still working in your 50s, that's great. We're not going to work forever. And that's kind of the ideal what I'm trying to build at. I'm not saying our life is over after 50. I'm just saying, is 50s our last viable decade before we have to kind of, listen to our bodies, or we kind of have to, make better decisions because we do have limited time. If you hit your 70s, it's you have limited time. If you live another 30 years, that's a little more on the miracle side. 70 to 78, 70 to 80. And if you're in poor health, how much do you want to really stay around anyway? I'm just
90.
80 years old, 90 years old. Right? What I'm getting at is, folks, is this the last decade we really have control over our own bodies, our own kind of destiny, our own mind, and kind of our own path, because there is a marker coming. There is an end of the road coming. There will come a day when we will have to retire if we're working.
Adult diapers are in our future.
It's going to be enjoyable. Some of us are going to have to work. Some of us get to retire. Some of us have to work. And I get that, right? We've been following the show. We've been following Greg and what he's been doing. He's building that right now as we speak. And he's been able to build it over the last year to where he could leave his full time and be solely dependent on himself, right? He's building that for himself now because younger years, he said it himself. You go back to the old ones. He didn't build this for himself then, but he's building it for himself now. So financially, he's building his right now and his future, right? The same thing I'm doing. I didn't start building or saving anything for my future until about 9 years ago. And then it was the 3% with the 3% match, which is fine, right?
Yeah. Free money.
But now that I'm, starting to slow down and think about shit a little bit more and starting to crunch some more numbers, I'm behind the game. But I'm behind the game that what they say I should have to retire in this state, right? And not have to live. I don't mean poorly or richly. I just mean, good Lord.
At all. Right.
I mean, if rent is $2,800 or your mortgage, so I should be in a position to do all these things anyway. So back to the topic, right? We are in a position now to make sure, or to do the best we can to make sure that we are set in a way for the end of our life. I'm not saying that, we're dead again. That's not the point, but this is a fact of reality.
When you're contributing.
If I've been working a part-time job, let's say I have been a waitress for 25 years. And let's say I've made good money and been able to buy a car, maybe been able to buy a house. Have I saved anything for retirement? Am I going to rely on Social Security? I'm going to tell you right now, Social Security is like $1,100, $1,200, $1,300 a month, $1,500 if you have certain little things happening and everything's so specific. But right now, whatever state you're listening to, a lot of our friends are right here in California. How much is $1,300 a month going to carry you? It's not going to cover your rent if you don't own your own home. And if you do your own home, hopefully it's paid off. And if it is paid off good, so you got $1,300 a month to work with. If you don't have a savings, do you see the picture that's happening all of a sudden? I'm not knocking the waitress. What I'm saying is that's a good example of good money right now that may not be set up to save for the future. So for me, I was partying until I was 34. And then I started, going to work, and then I was working under the table. And then from there I went to school, and then I started getting a good job. And then once I got that good job again, that's when I started. Right. So I've been able to kind of put all this together.
Mm-hmm.
But I also have friends, shout out to my two friends, you guys know who you are, that have been doing this since they were 20 years old. They're going to retire well.
Yeah, I never considered that.
So
I was just talking about this. When I joined the Marines, they made us buy all this crazy shit. They made us buy government bonds. So I had to pay $100 a month for the first 12 months I was in the Marines or something like that. And I had these $1,200 with the government bonds. But once those were in my hands, dude, it was like, baby needs diapers. Where do I go cash these in? Bank will take them. Now they're worth $175 or what? They had gone up a little bit or something like that. But I didn't. Long-term thinking was not. That's a skill that I think parents teach kids.
I believe so.
Or something. Or kids that grow up in survival mode don't have long-term thinking skills. Trauma-based childhoods.
Lock yourselves in. Save your money. I wasn't a good saver. Again, I was working with that whole addiction piece. So my impulsivity and my problem-solving skills and where I was headed and directed and what was valuable to me was so off-center anyway.
And it wasn't long-term thinking. It was get to the end of the day.
Right now.
Yeah.
Impulse. Yeah. Right now. Correct. Okay. So the finances up to retirement. Okay. Hey Jay, I'm working, I've been working and, I'm making $20, $21 an hour. I got a family, I got all this, the wife works, she's making the same amount. And, we really don't have the extra $200 a paycheck or $150 a paycheck to put into a retirement or into into the 401ks or whatever the work offers and stuff like that. Right. So, okay. But you're good now. Here's the thing. What about after you retire? You can't work forever. That's what I'm saying. Your bills don't stop. You're going to have to eat and live, pay for your stuff after you stop working to some degree.
Yep.
And so back to the original question, is our 50s the last good decade we got?
Or how long do you want to keep working? Some of us have had jobs since we were 14.
Some of us
13.
Own our own businesses, and it's not work, or it is work, and we just love it. That's just what we've been doing. So what about the farmers out there? They're not going to retire. They die on their farms.
Right.
The kids and grandkids take over. Right? I get that. So it's different. It's not the same for everyone, but I get it. But there's a lot of folks out there that just kind of want to go, hey, hold on a second. Are you in a place, or are you trying to be in a place to be okay after this decade? I'm 52. I got 8 years left. I'm going to be 60 in 8 years. That shit goes quick.
But they just raised retirement age or something? Don't you have to be 68 or
67,
67 and a half?
Well, I just
or
meant
something
like
that.
health-wise, finances after retirement. How are you going to pay for your house and food? There's still taxes and stuff. There's still gas money. There's still insurance to pay. What about medical bills? How are you going to pay your insurance? And this isn't just like, well, fancy people stuff. This is like, we're 60s now. We're 70s now. We're old folks now. That's why I opened with all those folks that are dying. The adults when we were kids are either dead, like the list, or in their 70s now. They're getting up there. And the folks who were just like teenagers above us, you know what I mean? And they're in their 60s and 70s.
That's crazy.
Our adults when we were kids are now the old people.
Who are those guys now?
We're the old people, like the Frank Sinatra, who was always old to me, you know what I mean? And these old guys.
They were probably 40s and 50s too.
They were probably in their 40s and 50s. Yeah, I seen a picture the other day. I saw a picture the other day that had like all the old people from TV and had the ages they were supposed to be.
Oh, dude.
They're all in their late 40s and like 50. Like Archie Bunker was 51. The Ropers were like 51 and 52 or something like that.
Yeah.
Those
It's terrible.
Yeah. Regerts. We are in our 50s. We are in our 50s. We have a good decade left. Regerts. Have you buried the hatchet where possible? And where to do would do no further harm, right? I mean, you have amends to make with an old girlfriend or boyfriend and they've been happily married for 25 years. Don't call her. Don't call him. Let it go. Write a letter to somebody else and ruin somebody else's life or something.
Write it down and tear it up.
Write it down, burn it, tear it up, give it up. Whatever you got to do. But regrets. Can you go back and fix a lot of them? No, because like some of my regrets are time not spent. How do you deal with time not spent? Well, you fucking be more mindful of every single minute of your day, of your time. Your time, now we've talked about this before, has become the more valuable thing to me. Time is more valuable than my money now because I've let go and I've reduced the DJing because I want my weekends back for my family. That time now has become more valuable than the money I was making over there. It's good money. It's fun.
It was a good time too.
Life of the party. Get paid for it. And it was good. I'd rather be at home playing in the hose in the backyard with my kids and my granddaughter, my daughter and my granddaughter. I'd rather be at home, or camping or whatever, practicing yoga stretches with the kids or whatever, we're
one of those things,
whatever we're going to do. Right. Yeah. Some of my regrets were time not spent. So today I am over the top mindful of the time I spend.
Yeah, you can't fix that one.
And I'm mindful every time I'm like, hold on a minute, or tell her no, or tell somebody no. I was like, no, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Right. This is my purpose. I'm supposed to be with my people. So I'll put the computer down. I'll stop editing. I just spend a lot of time editing because it's fun. I'm on the computer and dork out, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Right.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't need to edit right. I don't need to research. I don't need to make more AI pictures. I will go engage with family and people and leave the house. Been more of the social guy. Been pushing myself, right? Relationships. Do you need to mend any? Relationships. Is there any you need to mend? It's like family or friends. Is there anybody you need to reach out to? Is there anybody that you, at this point in the game, your half is the only part you're responsible for? Can you just swallow your half and just reach out if that would not worry about fixing shit? Not worrying about who was right or who was wrong if it's that kind of situation, but more about, hey, you know what? I do think about you and I do wish you well. Godspeed, or something, some kind of release of tension or hurt, or release of kind of a forgiveness definition isn't like accepting what they've done. Forgiveness is more of releasing them from your anger or from your hurt so you can release that shit. Process and blah, 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 blah. Relationships. Do you need to mend any? Is there anyone out there you could just pick up the phone and just clean your side of the street? That's all we're responsible for. And if there's dirt on your side of the street, can you see it? Can you call it? Can you own it? I got in trouble at work a couple years ago. I had to talk to the CEO over it. Big company. Yeah. I was in leadership. I did. And he asked me, so is there anything you want to open with? I said, you know what? Like I tell my kids, I could tell myself, and if you did it, you own it. It's mine to have. What you got? Right? Kind of.
Yeah.
Got a little loud at work. Volume went up. I'm not trying to minimize it. Just don't need to get into details.
Yeah.
Got a little loud at work, and I got in trouble for that shit. I did. So I was thoroughly explained that is never to even come close.
Yeah.
To never happening again. To all that stuff, right?
Right.
Yeah, but I had to talk to the head honcho of the whole thing.
The big man.
The big man. And it's not like he was this nameless, faceless guy. We see him all the time. I'm going to see him again.
Right.
Right? You know what I mean? So, like the guy. He's a good guy. So, anyways, relationships. Do you need to mend any? Your physical health, finances up to retirement, finances after retirement, regrets. Have you buried the hatchet where possible? And then relationships. Do you need to mend any? Is there anybody out there?
Hey, remember this banger?
Little Jerry Rafferty right down the line, not to be confused with John Cafferty.
John Cafferty.
And the Beaver Brown Band. Jerry Rafferty.
He is Eddie and the Cruiser. I've been doing some soft rock 70s listening. It's nice, like wake up in the morning and go to work. Like if I could pick the music for my office. This is what I've been listening to, is like some soft rock 70s stuff. So this is what they've been playing. And I never heard of any of these guys. Like, I know this song and I've heard this song 1,000 times, but I've literally never heard the name Jerry Rafferty. I had no
Jerry
idea who that is.
G.
Jerry with a G.
G. Jerry Rafferty right down the line. He was also in, what was the other band he was in?
Was he in the Eagles or something? Jerry Rafferty?
No.
He sounds like an eagle. He sounds like he could sing harmonies pretty good. Member of Steelers Wheel.
Oh, Steelers Wheel. That was Clowns to the left.
Stuck in the middle with you.
Jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. Okay, fair.
And then he did Baker Street. This right down the line.
That's what it was.
And Night Owl.
Baker Street. So this guy has like 4 good hits.
He's an English chap.
Is he?
Yep.
Right down the line.
Thank you very much.
There you go. Thank you very much. Let's talk about health first. Let's talk about some health first. Now we get some of us who have been through hell and back physically and may not have a good place to start, or we've been taking care of ourselves and just waiting for the rest of us to catch up. There's some kind of, we have our friends out there who have just been in tip top and stayed in tip top, right? I bet Marty could do 100 push-ups right now.
He probably has to.
He probably has to.
He's probably part of the requirements if you're going to be the fire chief of everything.
The global world master fire chief of everything.
Seriously.
Based in Mountain House.
Just based there.
Food. The food you eat will now absolutely reflect in your body. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Our body's metabolism is slowing if it hasn't already. Our body itself may digest differently now than it has before. Ailments and allergies also take a toll on our bodies, so I get it.
They say you can't outwork a bad diet, so it doesn't matter how much you're working out. If you're just going to chase it with fast food and stuff.
Cheeseburgers and soda.
You're gonna struggle.
Soda is a killer. Okay.
Corn syrup is a killer.
I'm not knocking soda. I love bubbles. I do. I drink a soda for the bubbles. I get it. However, if you want to drop weight and you're drinking soda, drop the fucking soda. I drink diet soda. Okay, it doesn't have the sugar. It's got a different sweetener. Now you're picking and choosing sweeteners.
Drop the liquid flavor. Like, everything doesn't have to have flavor.
Here's what I can drink the most of is water with ice water.
Ice water. Really cold water.
But with the lemonade Mio. The Mio squirt of Mio.
Oh.
Yeah. So
can't talk about health and be using artificial sweeteners either.
It allows me to drink a gallon of water a day.
Saccharin. You're drinking saccharin
Mio
rebranded.
has the good one.
Not stevia.
It's the other one.
Aspartame. Same thing they put in Diet Coke.
Aspartame.
That is saccharin rebranded. That's a marketing. They change a molecule, call it something different.
They can.
It's still poison.
Exercise. It don't matter if you have a sedentary lifestyle. It's all right. I work in an office. I just do this. I don't have to do that. Blah, blah, blah. It will bite you in your ass.
Yes.
It will bite you in your ass. There are exceptions, but few. Ride a bike, take a walk, exercise in a pool if you have to. Exercise in a pool if you have to.
Use it or lose it.
Just move your body.
That's the saying that sticks in my head. If you don't use it, you're going to lose it.
And break a sweat.
Be able to stretch certain ways and stuff. Like, that's why old people fall, because they get all stiff, and then they hit the corner of the table right here. Go. And they can't take that one big step to save themselves. Like we're just starting to lose that now. I might throw my back out if I take one of those big steps, but I can still do it. But at some point you get all stiff and then you fall, bonk your head. Sit. You're out.
And it's over.
Yep.
Yes. So what's our point here tonight, folks? We're about halfway done. What's our point here tonight? Where are we at? We're good. Our point is, we're not dead in 10 years, but this might be the last decade we have full control over everything we need to be fully control over. I know there are exceptions, right? And I get some of us aren't as healthy as others, and I get that too. So for what you can control, for what you can do, are you doing it financially, physically, emotionally, spiritually? Are you doing these things for yourself?
Yep. Marty is.
We'll be like Marty. Shout out to
Like Marty. That's going to be our next shirt.
He was Soldier of the Year, bro.
That's what I was saying. He went right out of high school swinging, bro. He's just going big. Now he's the fire chief of the Northern Hemisphere. Swinging, bro. Killing it.
Are you the best soldier? Absolutely, sir. I'm the best there is.
I'm the best there is. Seriously.
Are you the best?
That's how you do it.
Absolutely, sir. I am the best there is.
Can you do 100 push-ups right now? I can do 200.
It's like, absolutely, sir. I am the best there is.
Yeah.
I can't say that in any situation.
That's probably not true. You don't think so?
We're not in front of
best DJ
3
in Northern Hemisphere.
In the Northern Hemisphere.
Yeah.
Shout out to Marty. We need him on video now.
And come back for the video cast.
I'm going to tell you guys right now, exercising now while your joints are still functional mostly. Exercise now while you can, or while, it's just start the process now. Start the lifestyle changes now. Eat the better foods. Exercise. Move your body.
Buy the grass-fed beef.
If you can afford the fancy stuff. But here's the thing. Don't eat from a box. Don't eat from a window. Don't eat food that's delivered to your car.
Hamburger helper.
If you can eat anything that's close to an animal and anything that and the closer to a plant,
yes,
the better you are. So it can be a scale. It doesn't have to be all or anything, because I know how expensive food
What
is.
they say, shop around the outside of the grocery store and don't go down the aisles at all.
Is that what it is?
Yep.
That's where all the cheap stuff is?
That's where all the garbage is.
Oh, on the outside.
It's like produce, meat, dairy, all your eggs and your yogurts and everything's around the outside. Just go around the whole outside of the store. Don't even go down the aisles. Unless you need paper towels or something. You can go down the paper towel aisle and get some laundry soap and stuff. Everything else is a carb, and it's part of the food pyramid scam.
Scheme.
It's a scheme and a scam. When it's both.
You said scheme. Wrong. Are you able to pay for your life up to retirement? Good. Next topic.
Right. No, we're good.
Are you in a job or career that will sustain itself for you and 15 years more? Are you in a job that you and your body can do for another 15 years? Are you still doing labor work? Don't come at me with examples of people who work their asses off well into their 80s. 80s. I'd be willing to bet they have worked their entire lives and were probably never sedentary. Farmers are a great example. Worked entire life.
Yeah, died on a tractor.
At 92 years old. I'd like to say he ate from his farm. He ate from the land.
Right.
They
And
probably have fast food.
bartered with the neighbors.
Traded eggs and chickens,
Yeah.
brother. And good examples of exercise too.
Farming's good exercise.
Genetics has a play. I get that. And regions have a play in that. I get that. And I get there's fact. I get it's not all the same for everybody. I do. I truly understand. But you know what I also understand is that you have more control over your shit than you give yourself credit for. You have absolutely more control over yourself than you give yourself credit for. Your mind will quit well before your body does. Know that. Remember that. We talked about that shit for a long time. Your mind will quit way before your body does. Your mind will tell you, I'm tired, I'm hungry, I need a drink. We'll save one for later. 50 is good enough. Blah, 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 blah. You can always do one more. You can always do one more.
That's what boot camp's for. Because when someone's screaming at you and telling you that you're not allowed to stop, suddenly you can walk another mile.
Seventh inning
It's
stretch.
fine. You here for an entire podcast?
Yeah, right there. Okay, let's try.
It's rough.
Mexican Americans don't like to just get into gang fights. They like flowers and music and white girls named Debbie too. Mexican Americans are named Chata and Chela and Chema and have a son-in-law named Jeff. Mexican Americans don't like to get up early in the morning. life, but they have to, so they do it real slow. Mexican Americans love education, so they go to night school and they take Spanish and get a B. Yeah, leave that in. Mexican Americans love their nanas and their nonos and their ninas and their ninos. Nanu, nanu, nina, no, no. Mexican Americans don't like to go to the movies where the dude has to wear contact lenses to make his blue eyes brown. Cause don't it make my brown eyes blue? And that's all I got. How do you like it?
Oh, that's good.
Pretty good. It's like a protest tune, man.
Yeah, I dig that, man.
Yeah.
But you know, while you were singing that, I wrote another tune.
Oh, yeah?
While you were singing.
It's like the same thing, only different. Do you want to?
Can you pay for your life after retirement? Social Security will not be enough to live on. It doesn't cover rent now, so it won't in 15 years. But I own my house. Okay, good. Is that money going to be enough to pay all your bills, your medical bills, your gas, your food, in an ever-increasing life? Prices only go up, bro. And we still got 15 years to go before we retire. Are you starting that role now? I hope so. A lot of my friends are. I'm not as where I need to be.
How about a house?
So as long as you can just fight, you can keep it, right?
Yeah. Just got to keep the house.
As long as you can make the payment.
Could own the house. Got a good interest rate. I'm in it pretty good. It's got a little bit of equity. Sounds pretty adultish. Can I say that, huh?
I used equity in a
I've got a good interest rate. I got some equity in the place. Sounds very grown up when I talk like that.
It does. It does. And you used them correctly too. With confidence. Yes.
Right.
Relationships. Have you cleaned up your side of the street? Have you figured out that sometimes it's okay to make amends and move on? Forgiveness means releasing somebody from your anger or hurt. Is there anyone you haven't spoken to in years because of something? Are you able to take a deep, honest look at yourself or the part that you played, your side of the street? Because that's all we're responsible for. If you're still feeling wronged and you're still feeling jaded and you're still feeling hurt, that's fine. That's on you. You get to do that, right? Is there anything on your side of the street with somebody else? Is there anything on your side of the street with yourself? I started making amends to people who I bullied in school and who I was mean to and, all through life and stuff, right? It never occurred to me to start making amends to the people closer to me. It was just kind of for granted. I guess it just assumed, So I started doing that too. I started just kind of, bringing up some stuff. It's like that always sat wrong with me. And I just kind of just brought it up and just said, hey, you know what? This, that. I'm like, I'm sorry for that, man. And I got some Facebook messages that it's like, hey, you know what? We all make choices. We all do things. And you know what? I appreciate what you're saying. It wasn't like that on my side too much. I have one like that. It was kind of cool. You know what I mean? So kind of let me off the hook, kind of cool. I hope everything's okay. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm not, I'm not going to go, hurt myself or anything.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? No, I'm not.
This isn't the wrap up.
I ain't saying goodbye. I just, put my shit out there. You know what I mean? So if I can lead by example, I've done that. I've done it lots. And you know what? I will be honest with you. I got a message a couple weeks ago. I posted some stuff on Facebook. Some of those pictures from you, one of those graduation pictures. That we're all standing there in class of 91's graduation.
Yeah.
Right? 91.
That was the next year.
Right, the next year. We're all standing there when I posted that. It wasn't a comment on that, but at the same time, I had a Facebook message from somebody who wasn't my friend at the time, right? So I'm guessing that through a mutual friend, right, because there was people tagged or some local, I'm just assuming.
Something got passed around?
Yeah, so I'm assuming they're connected somehow, right? And that person said, I truly hope you grew up to be a better human than the one who bullied me in elementary school. Dang, bro.
Did you leave it on red? Is it just left on red?
No. Dude, again, that whole, like I talked about Keith, man, just stopped me in my tracks again. Donk. And so many things went through my mind. So many things went through because I have, and I've done, and I will, and I've acknowledged, and I'm currently, and I am, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I am so very sorry.
Was this one of the people that was on your list and you just haven't got to it yet? Or you just, no?
Here's the more honest part. I didn't remember until it popped up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, I remember you. I'm like, I think that's what I opened with. I remember you. And I am absolutely sorry for how I treated you. And I didn't keep it short to, whatever. I owned it. I didn't ask for, you know what I mean? It's just like, hey, you know what? You're absolutely right. And, blah, blah, blah. And then, they accepted and it was all good. And I was the first one to ever apologize. You know what I mean? And they thanked me for that and sent me a friend request, so.
Made a new friend.
Oh, God. I'm being judged with everything now.
Now we're having lunch next Wednesday.
Nah, well, we're not there yet. So to finish that little side story, I just gave I don't mean just gave. I simply apologized without any explanation or excuse or asking for anything in return. Apology, understanding. You get it, right? It's okay, right? Like you understand, right? And then you're absolutely right, man. I'm like legit, right? So anyways, after, a week or two goes by, I did it. I reached back out and I explained. When I said I have, here's what I've done. Again, didn't ask for anything in return, didn't say anything, but for some reason I felt compelled, and it wasn't a justification. I really wanted to answer her question. I truly hope you are. Not that that's really a question, but yeah. But I didn't want to explain it to her because I didn't want her mad at me or anything. I had a good answer, and I truly had done a lot because I intentionally, purposefully been addressing it. It's not
gone out of your way for it.
Yeah. So I kind of wanted it to show like that it wasn't just something that happens when it comes up.
Right.
And so I did. So a little blurb is about yay long on the messenger page.
Man,
you know what I mean?
She was carrying that around for a long time, huh?
Oh,
that's how it goes sometimes.
Fuck, dude. Do you practice accountability, emotional intelligence, gratitude, reflection, critical thinking, humility? Do you practice accountability? Do you hold yourself to a standard? Do you tell on yourself to you or your peers? Emotional intelligence. Are you able to navigate emotionally, respond versus react? Are you able to navigate your own emotions? Are you able to choose your emotion? Are you still at the mercy of your own emotions, right? Gratitude. You're ungrateful, ass grateful, fucking anything. Does somebody still owe you something? Are you able to stand there and look out over a pond and reflect and have some gratitude and appreciate sometimes having, when he walked in, it's like, hey, how you doing? He's like, bro, busy. I'm like, that's a good problem to have. Right? Not complaining. Gratitude. I'm grateful. Yeah. It's a good problem to have. Wake up. I'm alive today to have a fucking problem. Now I get some people have some truly horrific things going on. And I get that. And it's not every day's all sunshine, rainbows and shit. I get that. There are some real people who got some real problems happening to them, either physically, emotionally. They've lost a partner, they've lost part of their body or their health, or you know what I mean? So I get it. Shout out to you guys. Love to you guys. There's still stuff you're in control of. Are you still holding yourself accountable? Are you emotionally intelligent? Do you practice critical thinking? Are you humble?
I saw someone say recently the part of your brain that's in charge of anxiety is also in charge of gratitude, and it can't do both things at one time.
Oh, that's so neat to learn.
So if you just do gratitude, then you can't be anxious.
Gratitude is being grateful. It's an attitude. So
is anxious.
It's a state of being, of worry
right?
And thankfulness.
Yeah, it's like the opposite. The same part of your brain does two opposite things, and it can't do both at the same time. It's like the opposite end of the spectrum. So, and you're in charge. You can just drag it towards gratitude, and it doesn't have a choice because you're literally in charge.
Do people want to follow you into battle, or are they waiting there to battle you? I have both. I'll be dead honest with you. I do have both. I know for a fact I do have a small army of people who would follow me into battle. They truly would. I've earned that respect. I've earned that leadership for them. And, over time, I have built, a good peer group, right?
Mm-hmm. Rapport.
And I've also learned a tremendous amount about myself and relationships and leadership and management and things like this, right? And everything I've learned has usually come as a consequence and at the cost of somebody else to some degree.
It's part of your job too, though, doing that stuff all the time.
But I want to deliver it correctly.
Teach people how to have regular people skills.
Yeah, if you suck,
you can't think like that. I was talking to this dude the other day, and he was just like, walked into this grocery store with my dog, and the lady stopped me, and I told her, "Fuck you." And I was shocked. I was like, "What do you mean? You didn't really say that, right? You're exaggerating." And he's like, "No, I said that." She gave me a bunch of shit about having my dog. And so I was told her, "You don't want my business?" I'm like, dude, you can't just take your dog in any store you want. Like, then she's not the owner of the store. She's just some lady that works there. And if the boss sees her on camera, let some guy come in with she gonna lose her job. She's got kids. You don't know her story. You just said fuck you to some lady, bro. That's not nice. You can't talk to people like that.
Right?
You can't this isn't the 70s. You can't just say fuck you to whoever you want anymore. He was shocked. He was shocked that he was called out for that.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, you can't say that.
I seen a video the other day, this airport video. This taller, darker guy. I don't know if he was African American or if he was Indian or something. I couldn't tell. Right? He was from the backside, and big dude, really large dude, right? And he was standing there, and his back was to the camera, and this other really large white dude, like this gym rat looking dude, wearing a tank top in the fucking airport, right? So that's what I do. I work out.
He's the guy.
Right? I'm a workout guy, right? Anyways, he's screaming at this dude, "Say that to me."
Grown man, talk to me the way you talk to them. Talk to me the way you talk to them. See what happens. I'm a man. Talk to me the way you talk to these little girls. I don't give a fuck if you're tired. You're a grown man. Deal with it. You're tired. They're teenagers. Let them breathe. It's their first time traveling. You're giving them a hard time. You're making it go from a good experience.
Say what you said to those little girls over there. Say that to me and see what happens.
Right.
And the guy's just kind of like what? And he can't hear what he said, but he goes, "I don't care if you're tired."
Sorry, man. I was just tired.
I'm tired. I'm just yelling at some girls, man, because I can beat them up, but I can't beat you up. So whatever, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Got called out on his shit. Got called out right there. Instant karma.
That needs to happen more often.
We could do a whole show on instant karma.
I saw a thing one time. You ever been in like a coffee shop or you're standing in line somewhere and someone answers their phone and you just got to listen to them and everyone, or they'll answer it on speakerphone. And you're just like, what the hell is the matter with this person? And no one says shit. Dude, I was in London, dude, and this girl answered her phone in a Starbucks, and everyone in the place yelled at her to get off of her phone. She hung up her phone. She didn't give a fuck what that person had to say. She hung her phone up and went outside, called that person back. You just don't answer your phone in a coffee shop, apparently, over there.
Really?
Yeah, they screamed her out of the shop. Or at least until she shut her phone down, and then everyone went right back to their business. It wasn't like they were mad at her. You just don't do that.
Wow, I want to see that.
Yeah, we need some more of that. A little more. I don't know. What do you call that? Like some.
That's going to do it for us tonight, folks. Greatly appreciate each and every one of you. Shout out to our Monday crew. If you haven't already, smash that subscribe button. We finally hit 60. Last week, we asked for 3 more subscribers, and we got it 3 hours before we started recording tonight. So shout out to all you guys at the time of this recording. We hit 60
Number
subscribers.
60, we had the guy. It was what was his name? Uncle Ricky or something.
Uncle Ricky. I'll put him up here. Shout out to you guys, each and every one of you. Thank you for making the transition on over to video. And I know we still got some audio listeners out there. My dad still texts me. He still listens to audio.
Yeah.
I still get texts all the time.
Yeah, I'm sure that's where.
Every week. Yeah. So
Gotta have some.
Gen Xers, our day is coming. What will your final headline be? What will it say? Are you writing your headline now? My name is Jason.
And I'm Greg.
Peace out, everybody. Late. Sweaty. I might throw this on. Might just reach in the bag of tricks here and we can have a bag of tricks. Pull out the bag of tricks. Bruh. I can just make this microphone disappear.
Reaches into his bag of tricks.
We could just do that, bro, and the whole microphone would just disappear. But whatever's on the background would be over my face, though.
Yeah, it's gonna look weird.
It would look like a hole right through everything. It'd look weird.
while you were singing.
I wasn't paying attention to anything you were doing. I wrote an entirely new song. I can't do Alt-Tab with the mouse, can I? If I just click both buttons, pat, pat. It's not Alt-Tab.
You have to hold down one button and click the other button.
Yeah, that's what it should be.
All right.
Can I do that? No? That would be dope.
All right.
That would be dope. Alt-Tab. Hit us up in the comments.
You could probably set that up depending on your mouse. I don't know. What do you call that? Like some kind of like community discipline.
Community, yeah. Call a
I
little
mean, they weren't violent towards her,
was all
but they
matter of
used their
fact.
words.
Yeah. Confident.
Yeah, she immediately hung up the phone. It wasn't that important, and none of these phone calls are that important. Watch people walk around the grocery store on speakerphone. I sat in a restaurant yesterday, and this guy just started watching YouTube at the table next to us, all loud. I'm like, no one's going to say anything to this guy.
No.
You know what I think of is in The Sopranos, when Tony Soprano's sitting, I don't know if he's with his family or some buddies or whoever it is, but they're in a fancy restaurant, and some dude comes in a ball cap with his girl and sits down, and he's just sitting there, and you can see him like he just starts getting worked up, and I'll be right back, and he walks over and tells the guy, hey, take the fucking hat off. I don't know who you think you are or where you think you're at. The kid like tries to mouth off to him. I don't remember what happens in the scene, but it's always just like, we can pull it up. Let's play it right here. And maybe we can get some HBO permission for a second. I don't remember how it ends, but I always liked the idea that he was just willing to get up from his table and go tell some kid to take his fucking hat off.
Tony Soprano.
I want to say that to
throat.
every guy that walks almost anywhere with fucking flip-flops on. Like, you couldn't put on some real shoes before you left the house? I want to say that to everybody.
Dude, I don't even want to wear a t-shirt, man.
Fucking flip-flops.
I wear flip-flops everywhere.
Fuck, I know.
Slipper.
I guess since I've been to third world countries where that's all they have, that's what I associate that with.
Yeah.
You wear shower shoes because I'm a Marine, and they're not flip-flops. I don't even know why I said that. They're called shower shoes. You're not even supposed to wear them outside the shower. I have one pair. They don't leave my bathroom.
Really?
Yeah.
Mine are for outside.
I live with teenagers. I'm barefoot in my shower.
I hear you. I hear you.
You guys hear me too, don't you? You go barefoot in your shower.